Alright, my little guinea pigs. This experiment was successful, right, with the Amiga 2000, transforming their 8-bit buses to 16-bit buses. Now let's explain what happened. So this story starts when IBM decided to create the IBM PC. This original IBM PC official name was the Model 5150. So let's have a look at what is inside this IBM PC. By the way, you can find all those pages in the IBM 5150 Technical Reference Manual. So IBM picked up the processor 8088 from Intel. This processor is actually a kind of a reduced cost version of the 8086. But more importantly, knowing that IBM released the IBM PC in 1981, this processor was almost completely pin compatible with the 8085 from 1976. So this 8088 was very cheap. They even went to the painful process of multiplexing addresses lines with data lines. You see those 80 something pins? Those are it. They caused a lot of headaches for a lot of programmers for years. Anyway, a 1981 computer built around a 1976 processor. Why? Because IBM could reuse the entire old ecosystem from Intel. Check this out. The 8259, which is a PIC, PIC, a programmable interrupt controller, released in 1976. The clock generator, the 8284, that was from the 8086 ecosystem. The 8255, which is a peripheral controller from the 8-bit ecosystem from the 8085 too. Let me give you yet another example, the 8237A, which is a DMA controller from the same family called MCS85, right? Again, the 8085 Intel family. So why am I talking about all that? Look at this ISA 8-bit bus, right? You have those IRQs we saw with the 8259. We have those MEMW, MEMR, IOW, IOR, DAC, DRQ, all the DMA handling, right, from the 8237. We have the clock from the 8284, which is at 4.77 MHz, exactly the one that is actually used straight for the processor. But we have also the TC, IOCHCK, IOCH ready, which are the peripheral from the 8555. And finally, all the direct connections with the 8088 pins, like the data pins from the 8-bit pins, and the address pins, which are from 0 to 19 to address 1 megabyte. So you see that actually this ISA bus is a local bus for the 88 family processor. Here what you need to understand is, even if it is called ISA, Industrial Standard Architecture, it was actually just a local bus, exactly like you would have for Zorro buses for the Amiga or for the Apple buses on the 6502. It was exactly the same type of buses. When the Intel 286 came along, IBM released the IBM PC80. And with this, the 16-bit ISA bus. They just did that by adding more IRQs and more DMA channels, but also by adding more address lines to improve the addressable space up to 16 megabytes. And finally, 8 more data lines to extend the bus from 8-bit to 16 bits. By doing that, those bus connectors were backward compatible. That's why actually the 8-bit cards were working on those 16-bit buses. So this is where our story will have a twist. So in 1985, companies started to release what they called hard cards. They are basically a hard drive bundled in an extension card for the IBM PC. It was very common, right? We had the same thing on the Amiga or other platforms. Shortly after that, the manufacturers wanted to make like a more compact hard drive and more self-contained. So they just went on and integrated this controller part to the hard drive itself. And that's how the IDE connector came to life. And you can guess what they use for their connector. So now you should be familiar with most of those pin names because they are a PC80 16-bit bus with some removed pins they didn't care for driving a hard drive. That is why it was called ATA, A advanced technology like IBM PC80 and another A for attachment. Then it was renamed PATA, like parallel ATA, just to differentiate it from the SATA, the serial AT attachment. And of course, SATA can emulate PATA. It has an IDE mode actually. Compact Flash 2 has inherited from the same IDE interface. That's why for those vintage computers, you have like very easy backward compatibility between those modern compact flashes to their old IDE interfaces. So yes, using today those devices, you are actually using a 1976 design bus by Intel for the 8085. And what happened to the PC buses themselves? Oh, they evolved and evolved and evolved, and they went through South Bridges and so on. So that's gonna be for another story. Thank you for watching, and if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up, or if you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to be notified for the next videos.